Hello viewers, this is Mayhem Tilidine from the Team Mayhem, doing a little test and making a little race recap and talk a little bit about what happened in the race and what the strategies were. Unfortunately, there was not enough space on the PlayStation to save the original share during the live race, so it is just a replay, which is a bit unfortunate because Gr.3 replays give less information in the replay function. So I managed P7. Interlagos is not my very best track, and I just recently went to the C7, so I was actually quite happy, but qualifying wasn't my issue here. My main issue was managing the tire wear, so I decided to cut down from 7 laps on soft to just 6 laps on soft, and my initial plan was either go 7 or 8 on medium in the start, depending how the race develops, and depending on the gap and how it develops for the pit stop, to either go for a very quick 6 lap soft stint, or if I would end up in traffic, to save that for the last. The lobby is Mitch 40,000 driver rating race. Quite some strong racers in there. Many I raced with, so I could imagine it will be a fair race. And let's see how that develops. Equipment is a Fanatec CSL with V3 pedals. And let me switch to the cockpit view and some information on, because otherwise it will be boring and absolutely pointless if you watch this. And yeah, let's see how it goes. We go for display all. Switch to the perspective I drive anyway. Always sitting in the cockpit, which is well, at least for Group 4 and Group 3 cars, my preferred perspective. Also Group 2. I do have a very little amateur background in racing, so I feel the most comfortable sitting in a cockpit, and I can assume the dimension of the cars best. And well, here we go, P7. The main goal on the medium tires was just trying to stick with the pack. Medium was also my weakest tire through all practice, just to make it work. And as you see in the start, immediately messing up the Senna S. But I kept having this problem, like quite stable on the hard tire, where I was quite certain with braking points, also for fast laps on the soft, but with the medium, I just didn't find the middle. I was a little bit lucky here that the pack in front of me went into fight, so it won't be a problem to come back and not ruining my tires there. So as you see, it's quite fair racing, quite dense also. The level in this lobby, and also since North America and South America put together, is well, quite close, and I would say it's nowadays at least on the European region level. FN Papajean, very fast guy. Apparently he's also not the biggest fan of Interlagos, otherwise I would expect him leading this. The two guys in the lead, the guy in the lead, actually a friend, Thiago, great racer from the south of Brazil, and certainly an expert on Interlagos, and benefiting from the situation that develops here from P3 to P7, and also P8, the next Corvette behind me. Metech 61, never raced him, but it will develop later into a fight, and I could see that already coming, that the main guy I will need to keep an eye on is the Corvette behind me. We're going in lap 2. Papajean will have a penalty, and he's also not, he's held up by traffic and also struggling the pace, maybe trying the same just to save tires and not go flat out. But in the recap, my tire management, especially on the medium, shows quite some room for improvement. especially on this track. The Corvette, you can with early shifting minimize the understeer. I found this car, yeah, being very understeery. Not my piece of cake, as I was driving normally MR cars, and I'm more used for the braking for MR cars, and I had to, well, I saw in some lobby races I do something seriously wrong, and I need to adapt my style to go for a late brake, hard braking, and try to get through the corner with minimum understeer, a little bit slower, and try to focus on the exit. So as the field stays together, I was actually quite happy with the race. Metax was losing a little bit, but yeah, he was keeping quite stable in the track, like not really defending where he knows that the penalty is coming up, and so I could get past without ruining tires too much, and trying not to lose the guys. But you see again, there was again not the ideal exit out of the Senna S, and losing a little bit the gap to the cars ahead. And once you lose and you try to catch up, then you can enter a vicious circle that I basically a few laps later also enter with. Yeah, well, the tires are degrading. That results in you just sliding more, increasing the tire wear. So it's like it's a little bit like a pandemic situation. Like you have less grip, and that reduced grip leads just to your tires degrading even further. So I was quite certain at this point I won't make more than seven laps on the medium, and try to stick with the pack as good as I can. They are all also trying to save on tires, that's obvious. Very early brake boards, just managed to avoid the casino there, but all in good range. RX-8, the new player since the BOP update. Drove it briefly last week. Great car actually. Very tail happy, but something I do actually like. So Mazda is a car we should all keep an eye on this season. The Gr.3 is way more drivable now. It's really great on tires, and the Atenza turns out to be also a very competitive car in the Group 4 range. So I chose Corvette for now because in the Brazilian Championship I also drive Corvette. So I didn't want to adapt all the time for a new car, and yeah, you saw here quite a clean mistake from I was too late on the brakes. Sacrificed the corner and I have Papa Jean in my tail. He will catch up now, and I start losing towards the pack. Maybe in a recap, one of the critical mistakes I did that costed me a way better track position in a later stage. It's still going dense there, so they are fighting, holding up each other, but Papa Jean is breathing down my neck. Or Papai Jean. I do live in Brazil. My Portuguese is, well, far from perfect, and well, I don't know how to pronounce Jean correctly in Portuguese. Papai is clear, and you see that yeah, I start struggling on the tires. I was too defensive. Maybe I should have Papa Jean just let pass earlier. I knew he's coming through. I could have tried a cutback, but it's costing so much tires. So where's the point? So idea now is stay behind him, and maybe we manage to keep the gap. Getting out of the slipstream, not to get too much of an overspeed. Braking a bit earlier, let him in. And then took the full advantage, and again, that was maybe a critical second in the end that I just lost. If I would have given Papai a clear pass, he could have done the corner quicker, and we could have catched up better to the group, saving both tires. You see lap 5, my forward tires are getting away. I'm driving also on -2. was a long time in the practice sessions on plus, but in the lobby, talking with other Corvette drivers, I was convinced to go for the negative value, go for later and cleaner braking, because the Corvette apparently seems to slide a lot with the rear brake balance. And my tire wear surprisingly improved. Normally I go for, when I have too much tire wear on the front, I set the braking balance more to the rear. But in this case, the Corvette seems to like the forward, the brake balance towards the forward, which is improving also the brake points of this car for more later braking. Papai can't really pull off. He's also not closing up to the pack ahead of us, which is unfortunate. This was dirty air. We both went wide. I went too wide, and I get the 1 second penalty, which is. And with the tires, now you see, this was stupid of me to do. I'm holding up us both. I know by now, the forward pack will. I won't be in contest with them anymore. Maybe with Papai. I'm not sure which tires he's on. He's maybe even on hard, but. Since this is a replay, I can just have a quick peek to see what he's on. No, he's also in medium and also suffering on it. So we do have the same problem, and most likely we have both the same big like on Interlagos. It is a difficult, very technical track, and Casino flat out went off. Luckily he ghosted, but I was already trying to avoid him, but then he got ghosted. That puts us in P4. People are stopping already lap 6 on the mediums. Also Papai, so they will go either for a very long hard stint, or they will also do a very long soft stint. As I said, all the times I was struggling, I did also the EMEA race with the strategy of going 8 on medium, 6 on, only 5 on hard and 7 on soft, but I can't keep the soft alive, and average lap times are not good. As you see also here, okay, we were held up in traffic before, but 134 is not what you want to see on mediums. On hards, a good average also 133, 134, so I could clearly see I'm just losing time now. It's the matter is just getting worse. I'm not getting into the apexes, have to go very slow. Also in acceleration, this car is getting more and more tricky to handle on the rear tires, and a little bit of clean air. Metex stays behind me. It's obviously now that he's on a similar strategy. So the guy to watch out for. And there's already more coming from the back, luckily being held up by him, but this fight with Papai wasn't necessary. The mistakes were critically, and I reckon now recapping, that has cost 5 seconds, simply as that. Thank you for the 163 update. The pit stops got very ridiculous, which is quite bad for drivers like me that usually prefer to go for more stops and take less care of the tires, but hey, it is what it is. Everyone needs to deal with it, so well, there's no I don't like it, but why cry? Just learn and improve, and not a top racer in the top high split range. I am competitive, but there's much to learn, and maybe this is also a good opportunity just to learn something. Stop went well, too hard. As you see, Metex is on the same strategy. He's basically staying behind me, and you will see later how that develops. And little spoiler, there will be a stupid routine mistake that costed me quite something. Back in P11. On the hard tires, I feel more comfortable on the hard tires. could keep up with the pack on the forward. Papajon with the undercut, he gained quite a lot, so you can see what I lost on the extra lap with the medium. I don't know in the end if it would have been smarter just to go also for earlier change, but yeah, when going into the pit I decided not to go for the soft. What was my initial plan, to do a 6 soft in the meantime, but I was afraid that I would end up in traffic, and I think the decision was right, looking back. I would have needed quite to fight P9 and P10 to get past. P9 goes to the pits. Let's see what tire he was on. He's doing on medium 9 laps. Respect for that. That's good tire management, and he was also not too slow. Now the hard tires are slowly warmed up, and yeah, also my rhythm is improving. Prag Legacy is catching up quick from behind. He took me tags, but for sure he will catch me also shortly. I'm quite certain at that point that he is on a very quick soft stint. The TSA guy ahead of me, I'm not so sure yet, or I wasn't in the race, if he's also on hard tires. His pace seems similar, but I can play the little trick of a replay again and to see, yeah, same strategy, also Papai, same strategy ahead, same strategy. And Legacy's coming on mediums in, and you see a hard overtake, but fair enough. Fair enough. I was going a little bit wide, so he was on the softer tire, he was catching up. I would not have fighted him too much anyway. Of course, it is an advantage to hold up players on softer tires, because that is the time you're gonna win later. But people just stay fair doing that, and also when you are on softer tires, you don't want to fight too much. So I took the opportunity, seeing that I stay a little bit behind him, maybe gaining some time. No intentions to overtake, just stealing a little bit of slipstream, saving some fuel. I didn't think that fuel was too much of a factor here, but yeah, it helps the Corvette. The Corvette, especially on the hard tires, needed to get short shifted to minimize the understeer. And yeah, so also with fuel, Legacy was helping me here a little bit. Strong driver, but you see, especially now in the technical section where grip is quite critical, there's no point. And the second thing of letting people pass that are fast on softer tires, they will catch up also to the next one. Maybe the guy ahead of you starts a fight, ruins his tires, or is getting lured into a mistake. So sometimes it's just a win-win situation to let someone pass. Metax still behind me, quite stable during the race. Simply amazing, keeps flying ahead. Pretty certain that he's on soft tires, considering the Huracan being a very tricky car on hard. I would be surprised if he would be on medium, the speed he's catching up with. Yes, and there we see he is on soft tires. It's the first time I watched the replay also, and was thinking, well, it's a good chance to test the microphone, the recording, and well, I'm not Super GT, I'm not Tilchney, or all the YouTubers. I'm not used to comment the race while I'm racing, so I was thinking a little bit of giving a recap, checking out for myself what I did wrong, and maybe giving some ideas of race tactics. So yeah, he's on soft tires, so I went wide. I let him pass on purpose, again with the thought like he will drive aggressive. Maybe he makes a mistake, or someone else will make a mistake. And so in this lobby, not very likely to see. It's all competitive people, and well, at least some of the Brazilians Vortex Tiago, as I said before, Apex Vitao, FN Papai, all drivers that I raced already in championship races in Brazil, and I know that they are strong, and its mistakes are very unlikely here. Not an ideal lap. Mitex is catching up. Again, small mistakes, but small mistakes just multiply and multiply and multiply. And if you're sometimes wondering why you're in the end 20 seconds behind, it's just... usually it's a number of small mistakes. Again, very late, too late on the brake, went way too deep in the NIS. Costing tires, costing times, and Mitex is now on my tail, and that is... I wanted to avoid this, but yeah, he decided to stay behind. I was prepared to let him pass, but he thought the same, just like stay behind, maybe applying some pressure to make me nervous. But I decided at that point already, no, I will not hold him up. I will see how strategy plays out. Maybe he goes for a 7 soft stim and tries to undercut. Maybe, and we'll see. Like my call was clear. I will pit lap 14 after another 7 on the hards. Again, the last lap, 34 is not what I wanted to see. I know I can do steady 33s, sometimes even 32s on the hard tires, so not a very good middle stint. After I was pleased about the medium tire stint in the beginning, where I was holding up better than I thought, since I considered it my weakest tire. Again, like, is the attack coming from Mitex? Now he's again pulling out of the attack, staying behind me, saving fuel, and not doing anything crazy, trying to save his tires also a little bit. So great racing actually from him. Pretty smart decision not to start fighting and just stay behind. And it never makes you quicker when you have someone close behind you. I had to every time look on the radar. Now in the replay you can't see the radar, but I had to evaluate basically every corner. Is he going for the attack or is he pulling out of that? But it's small things that cost. Now I had a fight is starting to develop. Simply amazing, of course, passed with his soft tires that should start degrading very shortly. He won't do this forever, especially all the overtaking, and I was convinced that soft wasn't the one to go for, and not with this little gap and the danger of traffic. The lead is pitting. Yeah, in the lead, Thiago. I would have gone also for the soft tires with clean air, but that's not how the race was panning out. Position 8 could have been worse. Mitex finally going for the attack. Nothing really for that I can hold him back or having any point. Giving him the inside. Coming with a better exit, not going for the cutback, just doing basically what he did before, annoying him a little bit, staying behind, save a touch of fuel, and waiting that he maybe cleans the gap. Now after the pits in P6, it won't be where we're staying at, but seeing how it's. I was not expecting. My goal was basically top 10 for this race, so I was worried. I didn't want to try anything funny. I see another Corvette in the rear closing up to us, but I wasn't too worried about that because the strategy was different. I knew he will also stop soon, and he must have been on a softer tire, and both us, we will have a final stint on softs, and so I was a little bit thinking ahead of to make the best out of the soft stint. Maybe we will fall back into, I guess, P10 for this. VTEC stays out, so I was in the chance to do the undercut. And, well, you don't see the refueling values here, but basically I fucked it up. In all the lobby races, I always went for 7 soft, so yeah, I refueled for 7 laps. That, yeah, that doesn't help. It is additional 1 or 2 seconds in the pits. It makes the car more heavy, it causes more tire wear, and I realized it on the pit exit, and I wasn't too happy with myself. Dropping 1 or 2 swear words, but yeah, it's also like mistakes happen, and the most important thing is just not bother too much about them. Make the best of it. You see, I come with 56 liters of fuel out. I should have come out with like 45 liters. Yeah, went down to P11. I think I would have been P11 anyway, but I would have been on the tail of Simply Amazing. And yeah, including the bad Senna S on the medium, including the little unnecessary fight with FN Papai. That, yeah, unnecessary things. You can't turn the time back in those races, and you have to live with it. But it was pretty clear for me. Top 10 is will be what I can achieve, and yeah. Otherwise, but I think these 2 little factors they did cost in the end 2 positions. Simply Amazing. I would assume that he's finishing on medium tires. Sneak view. No, he's finishing on hard tires, but I saw that I'm catching up, so back to my driving position. Yeah, with a little bit less weight in the car, well, could, should, would, and there you see the undercut on Metex did not work because of that, so I lost the track position to Metex. I would think by now I would be ahead of Simply Amazing without the mistake in the pits, and would be maybe already in the tail of the TSA driver. So yeah, we would be driving P8 now instead of being P10 and getting hold up here by Simply Amazing, but well, he won't be able to hold this for long. He's blocking, but yeah, he does not have the grip. Metex on the outside, daring maneuver, he pulls out of it. Now I'm on the inside, but also I like this. Yeah, I could have been a little bit more harsh here and defending the inside, but yeah, I might have destroyed Metex's race. The last thing you want is destroying someone else's race. I did a mistake. Simply Amazing knows that he cannot hold us back. Unfortunately, only Metex makes the pass. I end up behind him, which is yeah, just heading up to the time loss. And yeah, now clearly he won't hold me here. He's still going defensive. I was very annoyed, but going defensive on hard tires, he went way too wide. You see the grip I have. No worries here. Inside line, go past, and yeah, didn't lose much time, but again, just it's the tiny bits that count. The gap to P7 is, well, frankly speaking, too big for us both. But let's see, now it's game 3 laps to go. The tires start to show their wear. That's fast laps won't be now anymore. 1:31.7 the last. not great, but okay. And yeah, I started to, yeah, Metex went on the overcut, he stayed out longer on the hard, and he will have a full blast 5 laps on the soft, where I can't go flat out on the soft, because otherwise they will be dead after 5. So I know that the race against Metex is simply, yeah, it's that is over. Maybe he catches up to the pack ahead of him, slows them down. I don't think so. I don't think anyone will be a mistake, so yeah, I was certain. Now it is P9 and I see H2O 4449 catching up from the back. Surely also on soft tires, maybe also with a late tire change, but yeah, my tires were starting to fade, and he was just getting closer. So I wasn't worried anymore to keep up with Metex. I was just worried to keep my tires alive, maintain an okay-ish pace, and just survive the race in P9. Yeah. There's always a chance that someone does a mistake, someone has a problem, things do happen. Had a very funny thing in a championship race last week where I was in a very comfortable lead. The remote control fell down, activated Netflix, I went blind into the barriers, destroyed the car. And yeah, so you don't wish anyone these things, but yeah. Internet connections unfortunately can fail, TVs can turn off, so yeah, but within the race, yeah, P9, that's what it will be. Defending P10, and 2 laps to go. The gap that is displayed, but it was still 2 second-ish. Decreasing badly. The UDI driver, yeah, on the Ferrari, yeah, he will struggle with the rear tires and hard car to drive. Respect for doing Interlagos in a Ferrari. I don't know if I could keep that pace that well, but here's Metex in the back, so again, keep the tires alive. Maybe there's a mistake, and try to maintain as good as of a gap to the H2O 449 password is my name driver. Now, great driver also. Never raced him, but he also acted, from what I saw before, like quite professionally. Maybe he had a bad qualifying and had to come back from the end, but he started P19. He's now P10, which is good strategy and good racing. Metex managed to pass the Ferrari on dying tires, but he will have the tires to make this last, and yeah, Ferrari going wide here. A glimpse of a hope that he might start struggling and I catch up, but yeah. As you see, like the forward right tire is over 50% gone. I have to start again to short shift just to keep the car a little bit from understeering and making this this worse. But yeah, I cannot carry any speed anymore through these corners. This is simply surviving. There's also, like, even if I close up, no chance on these tires I can make it past without a huge mistake of Gr.3. And yeah, the Beamer in the back is coming annoyingly close. Half a lap to go. I know, like, yeah. You see, my tank level is like still good for 2 laps. Annoyingly, yeah. Could have maybe redone this race, but I was, as I said, top 10 was my goal in this grid. Car is barely drivable, almost lost it. Beamer could not take too much advantage. He is in my slipstream, but he ain't gonna make it up to the finish line. And yeah, coming in P9, that turned out to be P8 in the end, because someone, I could not see who, or I didn't notice in the end who, but someone got the 1 minute penalty for not going the right tires. So ended up P8, 147 points. Could be worse. So survived in a good lobby, taking good points on the track. I wasn't feeling too happy, and yeah, I don't know. Either this was a very boring recap of a race. Most likely nobody watched this anyway. If you liked it, you can always leave a comment. I'm planning to do more race recaps, or talking a little bit of race